Steve Robertson, the manager of Swindon Town Ladies, joins us now on Your Sport Swindon. Steve, another weekend and another postponed game, this time the FA Cup second round game against Tottenham. How disappointing is it to have that one missing this weekend?
It's a bit of a big blow because obviously we were expecting quite a big crowd, and we're fully fit at the moment, bar maybe sort of one or two, but we're about as full strength as can be. Yeah, so it's disappointing, but I mean we went above and beyond to try and get the game on. I think we tried about 8 or 9 different grounds, as well as obviously our home ground at Shriverdham. Just wasn't going to happen, unfortunately. And these girls have been around long enough. We know that if the weather takes its toll, there's not a lot you can do about it. So they're all in today training, bar 1 or 2 again. They're all looking forward to it next week. We're confident that next week it will go ahead. I think we've got good enough weather, as long as it's not 10 foot of snow that comes down there on a Thursday or Friday. But no, we just go again next week. We've prepared for the game, so if anything, it's just 2 more training sessions plus a third one today. Gives us a chance to prepare even more for the week after. But they're all itching to play a football match, so it's hard to keep them under wraps a little bit now because they've not played in so long. But no, we're looking forward to next week, and hopefully we'll get the game on.
Absolutely. So yeah, itching to play a game. How long has it been since they've played a competitive game of football?
Crikey, way before Christmas. It's been 2nd week of December, maybe 3rd week of December. So I mean, we're sort of nearly a month without playing a competitive football match, and the game before that was another cup game. I think the game before that was a cup game. We've not played a league game probably in a month and a half. So they're obviously, like I said, they're itching it a bit, and we keep going on about how the league is what we want to concentrate on. But having not played in it for so long, it's always going to be like coming back after a mid-season break, if you like. And we spoke to the girls last week about how, if you looked at this as a pre-season preparation, actually Tottenham and Nottingham Forest, 2 great teams you'd want to get in a pre-season sort of set up to go back into the league. So we're almost treating it like a mini pre-season, get ourselves, make sure we're fit, make sure we're ticking over. And then when we do come back into the league, hopefully we'll hit the ground running like we did this year. So fingers crossed, yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, last week we spoke, and you could sense the excitement and the amount that they're looking forward to this game. So how frustrating has it been? Is the morale taking a bit of a hit for this or not?
No, you'd think it would, but it wouldn't. It hasn't. Sorry. No, they're all buzzing for it. I think Beth mentioned that last week, that they're all really excited for it. And I mean, they're disappointed it's not on today, but if anything, it just sort of pumps them up even more. It's like knocking Christmas back another week for them. So no, they're looking forward to it, but they're fully aware that it's not just, we're not approaching the game as if it's a one-off and we can't get anything from the game. I mean, they want to go and play it to test themselves and see how they're going to cope with it. I think they're more excited to do that than what they are the fact that it's Tottenham Hotspur. So no, they're obviously still itching at the bit to get on there. So yeah.
So being the optimist that we all are, how do you take a positive from the fact that it's been postponed by a week?
Another week to prepare. We can go into more detail. We spoke to the girls on Thursday night, did a bit of shape work. Some stuff that we're going to carry into the game that we don't normally carry into all of our games. So we worked on something new. And we spoke to the girls about how if we had longer to do this, we could maybe drill this in a little bit better and really sharpen things up. So we've got 2 sessions now to do that. Today's obviously they'll probably play a 5-a-side and they'll enjoy it, they'll have a bit of fun. Because I think if you put too much information on them too many times, it either becomes boring or it becomes very monotonous and people lose interest. So they're meant to be playing football today, so we let them play football today, and then Tuesday and Thursday be back to business. But we will probably sharpen up some of the things that we worked on last week that were preparing us for the game, and it will probably gives us an opportunity to look at a few things for the game after. Fingers crossed those games will be on after that as well. So more preparation. You can never really be over prepared, but nothing changed from our point of view. I'm not going to go into next week and suddenly treat it as a different football match. It's the same game plan as what we were going to go with this weekend. We just carry it into next weekend and sharpen a few things up, and hopefully it will come off for us, but we'll find out only in the game, really, so hopefully it's on.
Definitely. So, yeah, you said there that the team shape you've looked at over the week, but what else have you been looking to fine-tune before the game?
We've got a couple of ways of how we play, and we sort of looked at a new way of coming out and how we want to play, and possibly areas we feel we can be stronger in, and if we can get the ball in certain areas, what we can do to get out of those areas. Nothing that we haven't planned on working on anyway when we sat down at the beginning of the season and looked at our plan for the season and how we want to play out. I mean, last year was good and the way they played was brilliant, but I feel if we want to progress as a team, we need 2 or 3 different ways to do that. I mean, you wouldn't go and watch Swindon Town, for instance, and work out how they play within one game, and that'll be how they play for every single game. So it's important that, fact is, when we go against Tottenham, we're maybe not going to see as much of the ball, so being out of possession is going to be important. Not to mention that if Tottenham work out how we play, we need a backup. We worked a lot on a back 3 last year, and the girls didn't particularly like it. Went back to a back 4 for a little while, which they're obviously comfortable with. But there was one game into this St Nick's game this year, we had a player sent off down to 10, and we had to go to 3 at the back. And I feel because they've worked on that 3 at the back, or they might not have liked it at the time, but because they've done it, they've got the experience. It wasn't an issue. We slipped into a back 3, no problem. We pinched the game in the last minute, 1-3-2. So those experiences we probably wouldn't have had last year. That would have been a panic last year if we'd had to do that. And this year, it was just adding another one on top of that. So there's 3 or 4 ways now they should know how to deal with different situations on the football pitch, and it might just need a bit of guidance from myself on the side to say this is what you're changing to. But if I give them the tools to do it, they should be able to apply that in the game, and this week should give us more time to sharpen those things up.
Good to hear that there are some positives then.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah.
And so if the game does go ahead, is it likely to be at your normal home ground?
Fingers crossed, yeah. Shrivenham is renowned for it being very wet when it does get wet, though, so we've looked at a few backup grounds. I wouldn't like to say what backup grounds we've looked at just yet, until we get something nailed on. But most of the local grounds around here are quite good. Their pitches and facilities are all pretty much up to scratch. There's not many. We want to keep it close to Swindon because we appreciate we've got a growing fan base now, and I mean the whole reason of going to Shrivenham was to bring it closer to Swindon. So we're not going to move the game somewhere absolutely miles away because we want as many people out to watch as possible. And no, it should be fun.
Okay, Steve, so the fact that the FA Cup keeps being postponed now, is this not going to have an impact on the league? How important is it to get this game out of the way in a matter of fact and actually get focusing back on the league?
Yeah, the quicker we get back to the league, the happier I'm going to be, I think. What I will say is I think last year we played all our league games really quickly. And obviously we were taken out of the cups, but we had a big gap of about this amount of time, and we came straight back into the league, and we had a little blip towards the end of the year where all the other teams are sort of playing week in, week out. I'd like to think this year, because we've got probably a backlog of games now, that they're going to be sort of stretched as much as they can. They'll be playing week in, week out, and I'm hoping that continuity will put us in good stead, and that 1 game, 2-week break, 1 game, 3-week break, that disrupted us a little bit last year, and I'm confident that the more games we have, as long as they're sort of going to fit the time frame, not playing 3 games a week, I think that'll be a good thing, not a bad thing. So no, we want to get the FA Cup and the other cup played and done, so we can get back to the league. But we obviously want to progress in those cups as well. So if we do progress, and we are lucky enough to do that, we've got to play another game in the cup somewhere else. So that'll have to get squeezed in as well. But no, I think having more games at the end of it, it's nice to have points on board. And we said that last year, and that was great last year. But we did have a blip when we had a big break, and we didn't prepare ourselves correctly coming back from it. So I think we've learned from that this year, and I think they're prepared, and they know what's going to happen. They know they've got a lot of games to catch up on. So fingers crossed that'll be a good thing, not a bad thing.
Fantastic, Stephen. Here's hoping that we're doing an interview pitch side next week.
Yeah, fingers crossed, yeah.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.